And this is Willow for NES.
Well, I don't know what to make of this game. I'm freaked out after that introduction.
This is based after the movie. As you'll notice, they keep similar characters and locations, things like that. But there is one big difference between this and the movie in that Willow doesn't protect a baby like he does in the movie. So there is no baby.
I, I don't even know what to make of that. There's no
There is no
baby.
baby.
This is like the anti-hero version of Willow. There's no baby. There's psychedelic music. I wouldn't be surprised if Willow was smoking a crack pipe.
And this is one of the earliest action RPGs made. There's a lot of, for its time, very new mechanics, especially for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Also, the graphics and music are pretty far ahead of its time for an 8-bit system.
Yeah, and for a start, this is a lot of text for an NES RPG, especially in '88.
Oh, definitely. It's pretty plot oriented for an NES game.
Because like there's Mother, but I think that was a bit later as well.
Yeah, Mother was early 90s, I think, if not very late 80s.
Yeah. So in a sense, Mother's derivative from this.
Kind of. But yeah, we just got our first magic spell, which is magical acorns, and what those do is they just freeze enemies. This game is a lot like Zelda in that you have your main weapon, and then you can also assign spells to your other button.
Well, hold on a minute, right? The two princesses, oh sorry, not the two princesses, the two sorceresses, right? They were the only two that could use magic, right?
More or less. It's kind of confusing because they're sorceresses, but they're supposed to be like some sort of thing that brings magic to the world, but they already have magic, so I don't really know how that goes.
Because you just got acorns.
Yeah. There's lots of magic, and people can use magic regularly in this. Half the people you talk to are like sorcerers.
Yeah. So already I'm wary about the plot. But so far it looks good. I'm going into this blind, so I'm just taking up everything. So I'm going to be confused for the first couple of episodes till I get into the swing.
Right
of
now we're
things.
just exploring Willow's hometown, Nelwyn. They're just telling us what's going on in the town north of here, which is Dew, which is where we'll have our first main quest. But first we need our equipment, and right now we're about to get our sword.
Ooh, sword. It wouldn't be an action RPG without a
Exactly.
sword.
And an interesting mechanic this game has is when you first get a weapon, and if you're at a lower level, you'll have trouble swinging it. It goes really slow. Like, you'll see that here in just a minute. And he tells you that too, but they do a pretty good job of not breaking the third wall. Or the fourth wall.
The
One of the
fourth
walls.
wall. Yeah. But yeah. So we have a
Yes, and
sword. Let's see some swinging at. Oh Jesus!
Yeah, that's pretty shamefully slow.
Also, the sword's about like the same size as
Pretty
him.
much. What's cool is when you get a sword, and eventually you'll get another item which you can visibly see. If you have them equipped, you can see them on the character, which is pretty cool. Except, no matter what sword you have, they look exactly the same on screen.
Ah, right. So that house that we just went into there is always abandoned.
I think so. Some houses you can go back to, and you can do new things if you have certain items, but I think those houses are just abandoned.
Alright, because I was going to say that would be quite cool if you backtracked there and got like a little special quest or whatever.
Yeah, that is the case in a couple places.
Ah, okay, just not in
Right.
Nelwyn. Nobody wants to go back
Exactly.
to Nelwyn.
It's just a little town. There's nothing in Nelwyn.
No, that's not true. There's a sword and there's magic acorns. But what there isn't in Nelwyn is a baby.
There is no baby.
Anyway, so we're going to the village of
Right.
Dew.
And that old man just kind of told us the overall plot of the game, which is to change the good sorceress back into human form and defeat the bad one.
But weren't the two sorceresses, I don't know, weren't they supposed to be like a form of balance originally?
Not really. One's in a far-off cave and one's in a gigantic castle. because one's pretty powerful.
Yeah, no, I mean at the start, that's what it was saying at the start.
Oh, at the start.
The two sorceresses.
They're-
Yeah, so like obviously.
They're like the goddesses of something, basically.
Yeah. See, I haven't quite learned to read yet, so I'm just kind of going by the motions.
This plot is kind of hard to follow in that it gives you a lot of text and a lot of like new names and backstory in a really short span of time.
Yeah, because I saw the film when I was like 10, so I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm slightly familiar with the world, but I don't remember blobs.
Yeah, there was no blobs. But yeah, this is how the battle system works. You'll come into screens
You
where
get hit a lot.
monsters are assigned. Yeah, exactly. You'll come into screens where monsters are assigned to show up, and there's a chance that they either will or won't. And we're gonna go back here and encounter a monster that's actually in the movie, which is that rat dog looking thing. Being
They
so
were evil in the movie.
Oh yes. Being so slow, you basically have to stun them with your magic acorns in order to kill them. Otherwise, they just zoom past you and waste you.
Well, that's how I deal with rats in real life.
Exactly. Those are actually the things that killed the woman who saved the baby in the movie.
Oh yeah. I see you're getting quite a lot of experience quite fast. I mean, do you level up fairly quickly in this game, or is
You
it
level
just
up
like...
fairly quickly. I mean, at first I guess you do, but there's only about 16 levels, so at some point it gets kind of harder.
So like, how come there's only 16 levels? Is it... Hey, cool, we're being attacked by Iron Maiden.
The best thing to do when you're being attacked by Iron Maiden is to stand in the corner and let them come at you blindly. Like this screen, there's sometimes monsters in it, but this time there isn't. This one, however...
So like, you're level 2. So, oh Jesus, no, I can
yes.
already see the difference.
Oh yeah, there's an immediate difference, and there's kind of one level faster than this as well.
And I'm seeing what the blobs are doing there. I guess enemies are like, they scale with you. Or am I just like, or is this just a new enemy altogether?
Levels. Yeah, they're...
Okay.
You can't really tell though. I think there might be a slight color difference, but they're mostly clear, so it's hard to tell.
Well, all Scots are colorblind, so I'm going to leave that to you.
Okay, just take my word. And here's the Village of Dew.
Village of Dew. It's a pretty good title. I'm the chief of the Village of Dew. And now we have the talking again.
Oh yes. Fortunately there's only a few towns, so we don't have to do this very much.
Because like, I don't know. I thought I'd missed the talking, but I fucking don't. So we're Bogarda. That's
the name of the demon that's terrorizing this town.
Bogarda, that's nothing to do with the film, is it?
It was a name in the film, I just don't quite remember what character it was.
Ah, okay. Well, hopefully we'll find out and get like an extensive backstory. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised the way this game's going.
We're about to get all the backstory, or almost all of it, I should say, from this woman.
She takes all of the fruit.
All of the fruit. But there is a bit of a twist to who this demon is.
Oh, a twist.
Oh yes.
Oh, gee, I don't think I can get my head around all these concepts.
But we're about to go into this house here, and there will be a bunch of houses like this scattered around where you just go to heal, basically. And
Ah, okay.
this will be our stopping point for this video.